Alrighty, the Steel City team have provided us with their latest roundtable discussion where they covered thoughts on their previous update as well as what they have in store in future updates. Now the roundtable was slightly long-winded, so I've condensed the key points down to under 4 minutes, but I will provide a link to the full video in the description. For all things Undisputed, including technical breakdowns, please consider subscribing and hit that like button. Enjoy.
I think the fighters overall went down really well based on feedback and the comments I've been getting. Really great to see that. With regards to fighters' styles, how they move, we also want to feel, that you're playing with somebody unique. And, certainly speaking about Lomachenko with his movement and his unique pivot punches that he's got in the game, I think that came across pretty well. But, having said that, there will be some changes that, we'll be looking to make with certain fighters, like, maybe Amir Khan's a little bit too fast in our game. Do we need to do something with that? And also, Lomachenko highlighted is that, we kind of feel like the game is a little bit skewed toward people who are really good at outside fighting, whereas for a fighter like Lomachenko, might be a little bit tricky in the way Undisputed plays right now. We're looking at ways of being able to close the distance. Technically you can fight very well off the back foot, but going forward, other than going in a straight line, the game doesn't really give you a whole lot of options to do that. And we've noticed that with Southpaw fighters. The game has, literally the whole southpaw orthodox kind of changes that we're making in the game. Right now, they're not all consistent. There are tasks that we're working on right now. Everybody's waiting for career mode. We have a newer person on the team that has really been focused on AI. There's certain fighters where players are still saying, hey, this fighter doesn't engage all that much. I'm wanting to fight, but they're not throwing a whole lot over the course of the fight. So there's a lot more work to do, and be able to see additional changes to the AI that will get it feeling even better as we go. This topic has come up before in terms of certain elements in the game which don't feel right if you play a particular way, and this kind of also comes down to us playing the game as we would in terms of like boxers playing the game as a boxer, where you're not playing it to spam certain things or trying to look for exploits. And I think, one of the things that we're learning, you got to think about, how can the game be exploited? So, we're learning, the back foot straight, essentially, one of those areas that, okay, yeah, this punch can be spammed and maybe it's giving an unfair advantage. So, that is something that we're looking to address.
Making the stamina be more in line with what they're expecting if they're working towards that, and that allowing them to be more aggressive and be rewarded for that. I think that's a really good direction to head into.
We have brought essentially experts in that are helping us fix the online issues. Now these guys, they've helped ship AAA combat titles, so we're now on track in terms of identifying those problem areas, and they're working away. It's looking promising. We understand as a studio that it's a real critical issue. I'm not gonna say next update goes out we'll have all these issues fixed, but it is something that we're working on. We're on the right track. Sometimes you get to the end of the sprint and the goal was not to finish and ship it. It was to get it to a certain point, and then we're going to pick up that work in the next sprint and get it over the finish line. And so you just have pieces of work that take multiple updates, right? We're working on things that you don't see yet that take a while, that won't ship. Talked about the online changes. We're working on things like career modes. We're making progress on all of these things, and we're making a game where we've got a couple of things to think about. We've got our roadmap of stuff we've communicated. We're telling people, you get this, and people have bought into our game. They paid to be in early access, and so we have to ship those things. And then we also have to think about, well, what's the unplanned work where we carve out time to be able to say, okay, here's some balanced stuff that we've got to do. And it's a little bit of almost like playing Tetris or something with all the work that's on our roadmap, because stuff has to move around. If there's really something feedback wise that has to be addressed now, it's going to move another thing. We don't want to just spit stuff out as fast as we can. We want to make really good decisions because we're thinking about that finish line and all the things that we have to do to get to the finish line. And so it ends up being where some of these things are going to take time, and I think the frequency of updates might not always feel like it's a lot.
Okay, so that is essentially the streams of consciousness condensed down to 4 minutes. Make sure to hit that like button, and if you enjoy technical breakdowns and open and honest insights, please consider subscribing. Let me know in the comment section if you think Steel City are heading in the right direction. Take care. Peace.